Use this stuff well, and you have yourself a genuine superpower. Every once in a while, I have people ask me, Jeff, why is editing such a big deal? Isn't it just about cutting out the bad stuff and you just move on? And the answer is yes, that is a big part of editing. But if that's the only way that you view editing, it's like you're stepping into the elevator of a skyscraper and you never go up above the 5th floor. There is a huge amount of potential to be found with editing if you know how to unlock it. Here's one way to do it. Back in the day before the Russians were considered the evil empire, some Russian filmmakers were doing some really cool things. There was a guy by the name of Lev Kuleshov who did some experiments, one of which has come to be known as the Kuleshov Effect. And here's the sequence that he used. Now, when the audience saw this sequence back in the day, they raved at the performance of the actor, saying he was looking so hungry when he saw the bowl of soup. He was so overwhelmed with grief seeing the girl in the coffin, and so overtaken with desire and longing when he was looking at the woman in the couch. The fact of the matter is, the audience was making up that meaning in their heads because it wasn't anything different that the actor was doing. It was literally the same shot of the same guy every single time. The storyteller had made choices that made the audience create meaning for themselves. The storyteller had made choices that made the audience create meaning for themselves. There's also a famous version of this with Alfred Hitchcock, and I will put a link in the video description. So some people might say, dude, this happened 100 years ago. Audiences are way more sophisticated right now. They wouldn't be fooled by stuff like that today. And the fact is, you're right. Audiences are way, way, way more sophisticated than they were a century ago. But the fact remains, the concept is every bit as powerful today as it ever was. Check this out. So, same basic idea, but very different in impact. This is why you should care about the art and psychology of editing. You have the opportunity as a storyteller to create a brand new statement that affects your audience based on the choices of the things that you put next to each other. And it's up to you as to how obvious you want to be about it. I mean, you can go on one side, you can say, here's an idea, I'll just leave this here and you walk away. Or you can be completely controlling and say, here is the idea and here is exactly what you, the audience, should think. It's two opposite sides of a spectrum ranging from open-handed guidance to full-on manipulation. But here's the thing, the Kuleshov effect only begins with the storyteller's choices. It takes on a life of its own when it's presented to an audience. For instance, you may not have decided what the man in this second sequence was thinking about the specific things, but guaranteed you have a reaction personally as an audience member to those things. You also, guaranteed, you have a reaction to the man in the sequence. And you probably also had a reaction to what the man reacts to those things and how you think he reacts about that. And communication can get complex really quickly. There's all sorts of layers going on. But it doesn't have to be complex. The thing is, if you tell a story about things that people care about, and you put the right things together in the right way with your editing, you have something that is as close as you're going to get to a genuine superpower. What do you think about this stuff? Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment, and let's talk about this. Because your choices as a storyteller can move people to care or not to care, to buy something or to not buy something, to stand up and cheer or to sit down and think, to make up your mind or to change their mind, to keep doing what they're doing or to make a huge change. And that is why you should care about editing. Because when it comes to storytelling, you have a lot more power than you might think.